Hey, welcome back. I'm LeRock, author of the book Fit Anyway, the 9 directives to win at weight loss and change your life forever. Today's episode is about how to actually lose weight while eating more. That's right, that's probably the headline that caught your attention, but it's totally true. It's what I've been doing consistently for about 4 years now with my eating. I eat a lot. I eat 6 to 7 times a day, and I carry very little body fat. Usually I'm 10% or less. Right now I'm sitting at around 12 intentionally because I'm doing something on the side. But so I'm here to talk to you about how I do that and how you can do that too. So maybe you've tried some of these latest fads. Maybe you've tried the intermittent fasting, for example, where you starve yourself for a certain period of time, and then you wait until late in the afternoon, and then you can finally eat. And it really does, it seems to be giving some great results for some people. For me, it would never work. I love food too much, to tell you the truth. Like, you name it, I'm hungry, like I love food. So, and that's probably part of my problem, why I'm here today, and why I ended up where I was, overweight and obese, and why I found my way back, and why I'm sharing this with you. So, but anyhow, you can eat tons with the way I'm about to show you, lots, many times, and you will still lose weight. So the first key thing there is, and I teach it in my book and online, is to automate your plate. Automate your plate. And what that's all about is, step number 1 is portion size. You want to keep your portions small. So by small, what I mean is about the size of about a fist and a half of food per meal. So what I do is I use pork chops, I use steak, I use hamburger that I make. I actually make meatloaf out of it, believe it or not, with the same stuff that your mom would use, ketchup, mustard, and all that stuff. Stuff that goes right against everybody's understanding of what proper nutrition should be. But I do it in such a way that it's not, I'm not excessive about it. I'm a human being. I like to eat. I like flavor, just like you. And I don't forget that. You know, I don't eat like a robot. Like, I don't eat rabbit food and anything like that. Because to me, that would never work. I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. But the plan that I use works great. So what I do is, when I pick my protein source, which was what I was just talking about, I keep the size to about maybe half the size of my palm, about that big, you know, of any kind of meat that I want. It could be even fish, salmon, you name it. Hey, if you're a vegetarian, it could be tofu. You know, I don't like leaving the vegetarians and the vegans out of this, because they are a part of, they want to be healthy and fit too. Problem is, I'm not an expert at it, so that's why I don't talk about it a whole lot. I am, however, very interested in it. And I don't think there's benefits to it from what I'm seeing in the media and from what I'm seeing. I'm studying it right now. But I do currently eat meat. I'm a meat eater, and I use a portion size in my meals of about that for my protein. I do the exact same thing for my carbohydrates. My carbohydrates right now, they need to be low glycemic, so I use brown rice, the kind that you cook on slow on the stove for about 40 minutes. You do not want to use minute rice or any of this processed junk, because it spikes your sugar, spikes your insulin, and it'll make you retain fat. Okay, so you want to pick low glycemic carbs. If you don't know what those are, just Google it. Go on the internet and Google low glycemic carbs. Another great one is sweet potatoes. I eat those all the time. I mix and match those back and forth. That's what I mainly stick to for my carbs, but there's a whole bunch out there that you can choose from. The third thing what I do is I put as much vegetables as I want. I currently use frozen vegetables because it's easier and more, you know, convenient for me. There are many times I've used fresh vegetables, like just heads of broccoli, steam them, pop them in there. You name it. You want colorful vegetables. The more colorful and vibrant the vegetables are, usually the more nutritious they are for you. So that's what I kind of consisted of. And then I don't talk about fat very often when I talk about you know, my diet, because those fats are always in there. No matter how hard you try to get the fats out of your meats, for example, you're always going to have some fats in there. If you want to add some healthy fats, which I have done in the past, I use coconut oil. You can get it at the grocery store. It's very delicious. It actually takes the flavor of all your meals and it'll boost it right up there and make you really look forward to them. From that perspective, yeah, portion size is the first step. So the second thing that I would advise is, it goes with this, because this will make sense now. Because you're thinking, that, well, I got this little tiny portion. Well, it's the frequency is the next thing that's important. Number 2 is your frequency. You want to eat every 2.5 hours roughly. And you don't have to be crazy strict on it, but you want to aim for 2.5 hours. Because I find for me, that's the magic window that I've been using for 4 years, and I've seen great results. Like I don't carry the fat that I used to in my belly. I used to carry a lot of fat in my belly, and I worked out at the gym probably 1.5 times what I do now. I used to work out 1.5 hours, 2 hours, and sometimes I would work out 5 days a week back then. And I always carried a lot of fat in my midsection. And you could see it in my face before. I used to always have like a little bit of a double chin there. And it wasn't that I wasn't trying. I was muscular too, but I was always kind of heavy in my midsection. I couldn't see my six-pack. I couldn't see my stomach. So this really helped me by having, you know, my portion size small and eating these frequent meals every day. You'd be amazed at the results you can get. If you haven't tried it yet, or even if you have, give it another shot, because I've seen great results. I know I've had great benefits from it. I've seen friends of mine that I've helped out make great headway, losing like 30, 40 pounds. I've gotten feedback from my readers that, you know, things have really turned around for them as well. So all I can advise to you is beef up the frequency. The third thing is that your nutrition should include some common sense thinking, right? Should be common sense nutrition. So what you don't want to do is, you know, I have my portion size right, I have my frequency right, but what I'm putting in there is like Big Macs and processed chicken nuggets and processed chicken strips, and a lot of people do this because they don't understand. They're trying to do the right thing, but because they have a busy life, they won't make the time to actually make something nutritious to put in those containers. So they'll go in the fridge and they'll pull some sardines out and shovel them in and say, there's my meat. And they're not really planning it through. They're not really thinking about their nutrition and giving it the proper attention it deserves. So you want to make sure it's common sense nutrition. You want good stuff in those containers. And you want processed food nowhere in those containers, okay? The fourth thing I would advise is, as you're preparing your diet approach, and if you choose the automate your plate approach, is to have a diet that never leaves you hungry. You don't want, see that I'm having a hard time because I know for some people the intermittent fasting is working, but the problem is I know in the long term that would never work for me. I do not like being hungry. I don't like the feeling of my stomach growling. They call it hangry, I guess. I get grumpy when I don't eat properly and don't have food. So you want to choose something that, you know, doesn't leave you hungry, doesn't leave you feeling starving. And if you're doing something where you're kind of starving yourself and it's not intermittent fasting, it's just you're starving yourself, there's lots of that going on in the world. And it's been going on for years. And I highly advise against it. I know so many people that have starved themselves and they've gotten kind of thin, but they're all fat. It's just, your body is not made to starve. What it does is it will consume some of itself, but then it'll store every single thing you eat. It stores it as energy because it's in survival mode, you know? So when you starve yourself, your body says, uh-oh, I better start keeping everything on me because I'm not eating for a while. And that's really the way the body works. It's a very complicated, us human beings are very complicated, you know, things, the way we're set up. But, and amazingly adaptive. And that's one of the things that's great. If you were out in the desert, your body, it learns and it keeps things on your body so that you'll have energy so you can keep moving forward and you don't perish. But when you want to look good and you want to go, you know, be able to walk on a beach and be able to take your shirt off and not have a big giant stomach, You want to learn how to, you know, eat properly and not be hungry all the time. Okay, there's a reason we get hungry. Again, our body's a genius. It tells you, hey, guess what you got to do? You have to eat. So, you know, never leave yourself hungry. And the fifth thing I would advise is you should allow for some cheat days. That's right, cheat days. I cheat every single week. I eat decent for 80%, I would say, of the week, Monday through Friday. Sometimes I'm bad on Thursday, but most of the time, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekend's mine. So what that means is I can go and eat pizza if I want, lasagna if I want, chili if I want. I'm gonna have chili in about an hour from now, actually, because it's Sunday. I can do basically whatever I want on the weekend. I drink beer on the weekend. I'm a healthy person and I'm a fit person, but I'm a human being and I enjoy living life. And if I want to have a milkshake, I'll do a milkshake. It's not really a big thing for me, but I would go do that on the weekend. So what I'm getting at is 5 days a week, stay to the routine that I just described, and 2 days of the week, pick whatever 2 days you want, and do what you want. And keep in mind, in the back of your mind, just always think about, you know, always make sure you don't go overboard with it. You know, you don't want to go on the, work great all week, you go in the gym, you're eating clean all week, and then on your cheat day that I just described, you eat a whole pizza in a sitting, and then later on in the day you eat a bucket of ice cream and you start binge eating. You don't want to do that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is rewarding yourself with some really exciting, delicious things that you can eat on the weekend that will keep you nourished, will satiate your appetite, and will make it so you're like, I can get through the next week. And I'm telling you, the meals that I eat all week are delicious. Not to say that they're not delicious. They're really good and they do keep me thin. But I do look forward at the end of the week to have my little cheat meals. I enjoy it. I go out for breakfast. I'll have bacon and eggs. I'll have coffee, you know, a little juice. Sometimes I'll split some pancakes, you know, with Cindy, my fiance. And I love it. And sometimes I feel like, oh, I walk away and go, maybe I did a little too much. But because of the way I'm living, I'm a normal person. I live a normal life. I work full time and I just take care of myself. I do these little tiny things, these little steps that I'm teaching you through these videos. That's what I do. And that's how I'm able to keep myself out of that state that I was in before. By being a normal human being who just cares and just kind of looks and thinks a little bit. And that's the key, thinking. Thinking is what will get you to anywhere you want in life. What you think about is what you can fix, you can improve, you can overcome. Thinking is the key. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent again. So that was my last tip, is to have cheat days. Make sure they're in your diet. I hope you try some of these things and that you implement them into your life and that you bring yourself up. You can do this, you can lose the weight. You can get yourself on a clean diet that's not too cumbersome, something consistent, and you can do this. You can lose the weight and you can be fit and have a great life. So anyhow, I hope this episode served you. Until we meet again, stay healthy, be happy, and live your life with intention every single day. Hey guys, it's Ethan. I hope you liked that video, because if you did, there are 3 things you can do right now. 1, you can click on subscribe to this channel, and I hope you do, so I can continue to send you free videos every week. 2nd, you can pick up a copy of my brand new book, Fit Anyway, available right now on Amazon. 3rd, you can go to my website, sign up to my newsletter, where I offer free video series, free content that's not available here on YouTube, and also you'll get notifications of any other changes that are happening in my life. Until we meet again, stay healthy, be happy, and live your life with intention every single day.